episode 8 of Vindland Saga, season 2. We're here, boys. Our boys, though, they're in trouble. No, Thorfinn, Einar, they did a big oopsie today. No. But it's alright. Ramifications don't exist because a storm is brewing. Ah, shit. It's alright, they're fine. Oh, into this episode. Listen, this is one of the bigger episodes. It is a titular point for where our character, Thorfinn, we finally get we dive just a little bit deeper into his psyche and figure out, like, what the fuck is wrong with this man? Okay, and what he's up to. This is actually one of the standing points for where how Thorfinn is going to be changing for the rest of the series. And it's really good, actually. We finally get some good characterization out of him. And it's been a long time, so it's a nice episode. So, where we start off. Alright, we're here. This is a dreamland. Thorfinn is dreaming. He's having another nightmare. And this man has been having constant nightmares every day since he's been on the farm. Every day, alright? And they're horrible. So in this one specifically, Thorfinn is watching in terror. A few other people are in terror as well. He is watching Einar as a little boy. Now, we know this doesn't really exist. This is all just like a fabrication by Thorfinn's mind because he feels guilty about all the things he's done, which is the cause for his nightmares. He has very deep trauma about just fucking everything, and he's not gonna get over that quickly. But we're getting to the root of the problem in this episode. So he's in this dreamland where little Thorfinn, or teenage Thorfinn, the better Thorfinn, badass Thorfinn, is about to terrorize Einar and his family. Quite sad. Our Thorfinn, watching in terror, trying to figure out how to stop it, can't. Gets sent down and this is the sort of where we are right now. This is going to come back later in a bigger form too. Sort of a manifestation of Thorfinn's subconscious, where in every night that he's been having this sort of, and this is all the dreams he's been having. And, these dreams that he's having, specifically right now, he's unable to remember the things that are happening. It's, again, his trauma is so deep that he just can't remember these nightmares. So in this nightmare, he's going to be trying to climb this cliff. You can sort of, extrapolate that these hands jumping out at Thorfinn here are sort of a representation of the guilt he's feeling, dragging him down darker into this pit or this trench. I call it a trench, I guess. Just dragging him down. He can't really do anything about it. And it's incredibly painful. Now, this is going to come back later, maybe next episode even, probably next episode. Now, we get to a point where Thorfinn wakes up out of his dream after falling in the pit. Einar, so used to him screaming every night, now, it doesn't really... He can either choose to wake him up or just, leave him there. And he's so used to it that he's just like, okay. He can't really help Thorfinn when he's having his horrible nightmares, and it's just he's so detached, maybe not detached from it, but he wants to help Thorfinn if he can, but he can't really do anything at this point. It was quite sad. So this is actually very important, because this is also the episode where Thorfinn finally reveals the name of Askeladd. Now, he mumbles in his dreams, so he mumbles when he sleeps. He's been dead dropping Askeladd's name apparently every night. Thorfinn asks, Einar asks about it. Thor's like, oh my god, I can't believe I mentioned Askeladd. Now, we don't get to... Thorfinn doesn't exactly come out and say who he is just yet, but he will in this episode. First, they're going to basically go to work, do all the things they do, their daily routine. And right now, their routine is still checking out their wheat plants and working very hard. So it's maybe... It's hard to tell exactly how much time has passed since they've harvested, but as we can see here, these are their wheat plants, and they're growing quite nicely. They're becoming nice and strong. It's still maybe sort of cold out, because it can still snow. So maybe somewhere in... I'm not exactly sure the climate where they are right now in this era, but maybe past December they've already planted, and they're I don't know how to grow wheat like Thorfinn or Einar, so they whatever. The point is their farm is coming along nicely. They're taking steps toward their goal to grow these plants so they can sell them to the master so they can, become free. They have a problem though. Unfortunately, they have some farmhands that are literally just farmhands. They do not like this. They are very prejudiced against all slaves. They are very prejudiced against Einar specifically because they didn't think that they'd be able to get this far this fast, and specifically because of Einar. And he was a farmhand himself, before he became a slave. So he knows how to farm. He knows how to cultivate land. So they're like doing this like really fast. They're being really fast. These farmhands are not happy about it. Now, before we get to them, they're going to be important later in this episode. It's some more introspective scenes where Thorfinn finally comes out and literally tells him who Askeladd was. Einar is just, very intently listening to him, being as helpful as possible. And this is where we get into some more introspection about how Thorfinn feels, where he doesn't even hate Askeladd. He tells him that like Askeladd was this more warmonger and the person he wanted to kill, his revenge guy. And Thorfinn, at this point, feels no particular hate towards Askeladd anymore since his death. But obviously something's still wrong because his subconscious is coming to like kill him every night in his dreams, and he feels no hate for the man. But he feels that, oh, maybe I should still hate this man that killed my father. Thorfinn is in a specific place where he is in the process of changing. They even mention it in this episode, and he's trying to change, but it's a long, grueling process because obviously he's been fighting his entire life. But he doesn't know anything. He even says it here, like, I can't do all these things that you can do, Einar. I don't even know how to thatch a roof. That's all their job is right now. I can't do that. I can't fish. Can't farm. All I know is how to kill. It's all I've ever known since I was like 5 years old. It's all I've ever been doing. I don't even have the right to really be here. I shouldn't even be alive. Thorfinn is severely messed up in so many ways. Now we get some. The master's father, he ends up coming by. It's not. It's explicitly told. We can process that the old master was eavesdropping on their conversation just a little bit, or he heard enough anyway. And he comes in, he's like, all right, you guys, just work. Why are you not working? I just work, boys. So he takes them out on a little fishing trip. It's quite nice. He teaches them how to fish. Obviously, the master here, the old master, Master Keetle, is, he's been doing this for a long time, and he's just going to catch a bunch of fish for these guys. I mean, we need more fish. Apparently, you know what? Actually, I do know what time frame it is. It's sometime in April, because the master specifically states that he can't eat meat because it's Easter, and so that means it's Lent, I believe. If my Christianity classes have taught me anything, you can't eat meat during Lent. Yeah, so sometime in April, the master's not allowed to eat, so they're catching fish to, just cook and eat fish instead. So they're, Einar and Thorfinn aren't very good at like net fishing, so they're just doing the best they can. They don't catch a lot, and the master catches all the fish basically. He's a master, but he is the master. But this is very important for this scene. So the master did overhear their conversation. He tells Thorfinn, and this is explicitly important for the title of the episode, empty. Thorfinn thinks he's empty. He can't really feel much either, just as a person. Like, can he feel pain? His emotions are extremely dulled. His senses are dulled. He's a changed man after the events that happened with Askeladd. The master, with all his wisdom of years that he's lived, tells Thorfinn that's actually a better thing. This is a good thing because you're empty. You have the rare opportunity to absorb everything around you, and you can learn from everything and take everything in and use this as a crutch to change yourself. And the master here, he's obviously like not a bad guy at all. Very, very helpful in terms of trying to show Thorfinn what his new path could be. Obviously, Thorfinn is extremely lost. He just doesn't know what to do. So they leave there. They catch some fish. Einar and Thorfinn, they don't catch much, but that's all right. They're going to go back to work on their farm, and it's getting cold out, so it might snow a little bit. So they go back to their farm. they also have a little talk here. Einar, this is some good dialogue too. Einar specifically tells Thorfinn, even though you were a warrior before, you don't look like one now. And I think that's very important because, again, when Thorfinn back in season one, he's this jaded kid. He looked like he was a psychopath in his own right. Killed tons of people. He was crazy, obviously, all for revenge. But now that he can't really get his revenge. He doesn't look like a warrior. He doesn't look like a crazed barbarian who would just kill, plunder, and pillage anyone he comes across. But at this point, they have their nice little talk. Thorfinn's happy that he's actually friends with Einar. They go back to the farm. Uh-oh, someone has ruined all their wheat plants. Einar is extremely devastated. Let me see if I can get a nice image here of the. Here we go. All their wheat plants have been just completely devastated. Someone has fucked them up. Obviously, it was the farmhands. No doubt, it was them. They even admit it at the end of the episode. Like, they've just destroyed it. This is a huge setback, right? Now, Thorfinn doesn't really understand what this means at first. Einar has to like really tell him like why this is a massive problem. Now they have to borrow more seeds. Now they have to do more work. Now it's going to take longer to sell more wheat so they can buy their freedom. And this is obviously Einar is super pissed. He is the most pissed. He's actually a little upset that Thorfinn isn't as upset as he is. So Einar wants to take revenge. He literally wants to kill those people. This is a big no-no. Slaves cannot do this. Now the farmhands are just jealous at them because their progress has been so steady and so fast, and they've been making like good work. But that's all over now. So Thorfinn, Einar gets a little mad at him. But Thorfinn takes the initiative because Einar wants to go literally kill those people. Einar's not like, he's strong. He's like farm strong, like built, but he's not a warrior in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't know really how to fight. Thorfinn is both built and has skills, numerous skills. Thorfinn's going to take this initiative to calm them down. There's also some nice dialogue where the reason why Thorfinn can't get mad is because he doesn't even think he has the right to get mad. Where he thinks that Einar should just kill him because he's done way worse than these farmhands. Like he's killed numerous amounts of people. These farmhands are just bullying them, even though it's like extremely bad for their situation. But Einar might be definitely overreacting in this situation, especially with the way that they do things on the farm and how their stature as slaves. They can't just go around killing non-slaves. They can't go around killing anybody really. If they even try that, they'll be hanged, beaten, whatever they would do. Open up their bellies, feed them to the crows, whatever. They'll massacre them. Thorfinn takes this initiative to calm him down. We'll just call Pater, and we'll maybe hopefully get this situation sorted out. So Pater comes by. Einar is still rightfully fucking super angry. Pater comes by. He's like, "Oh, geez, they did this. But do you guys have proof that they did this? We really need proof." They have no proof. They weren't here when it happened. So there's not much Pater can do. But Pater understands because he was a former slave himself, and we know this. And he tells them, like, I was also bullied, when I was a slave at first, and it was horrible, right? All the farmhands would pick on me and do terrible shit to me. And there's just nothing I could do until he won his freedom back. But Potter's gonna take this initiative to investigate. He tells them to just don't touch the field. Maybe they left something behind, where maybe some proof behind or some clues where they can point out, who did this, and then we can have some names, and then maybe we can get justice. Einar still, he's not really having any of this. He can't really accept that this has happened. We also get some nice dialogue here on their way back. They're basically done with work. They can't really do anything now. Einar explains to Thorfinn that his crush, what's her name? The girl that's fucking both the master and the master's son, she's a different slave. The master chains her, likes her so much that she didn't get the same deal that they did. And this is like big problems about being a slave. When you're a slave, if you're liked too much, no one will let you go. You won't be able to get free. And if no one likes you, you're just gonna get bullied constantly, probably beaten, in some cases killed just for being a slave. It's super heartbreaking to see that. This girl's the one. She has a different contract with the master, so she can never like be free. And also, they also, Anar thinks that like she's empty as well. And we saw in the last episode how detached she was when she was holding the master. She just looked like no emotion at all. She's a blank canvas basically. So as they come down here toward the road, they encounter the farmhands that fucked up their farm. Einar, very angrily, very stupidly, I might add, is Thorfinn urges him, let's go somewhere else. Let's go down a different path right now. And he's like, fuck no. Why would we? What does it matter? He just goes up to them, all super cocky, ready to literally beat the shit out of them. And you could see in his eyes, he is Thorfinn Einar making the worst decision of his life right now, attacking farmhands as a slave. The boys are about to do a naughty. So before Einar's literally gonna punch this guy out, and he probably could. But before that, Thorfinn gets in his way, and let's just see this scene. It's fucking magical, all right. Thorfinn gets in the way, stops Einar from hitting this guy, and they basically admit that they're the ones who did the bashing on the farm. Oh, right to the jaw! Fuck Thorfinn! He still fucking got it, boys. He still got it. Look how crazy he is. Now, this can be taken one of two ways. Either this guy really made Thorfinn mad, or he just, he finally like let loose. Or this was him trying to protect Einar. Because, if Einar took the initiative to hit him, Einar probably wouldn't be saved. But if Thorfinn did it, he could save Einar from this whole mess. If he just doesn't attack anyone, then we can pin all the bad stuff onto, himself. And then they might kill Thorfinn, but Thorfinn's fine with that because he kind of wants to die in some respects. But he just absolutely obliterates this man in one fucking punch, and just let me see if we can get this. Breaks his fucking jaw. This man is probably dead. How is he supposed to live after this? His jaw's been absolutely devastated. Is he alive right now? Yes, but he's in unimaginable amounts of pain, no doubt. Broke his teeth, broke his jaw, broke his nose probably. One hit, Thorfinn. My man. Still got it. He's probably got stronger after the years of being a slave and all that farm work. Just, not really training, but just training his body. He's also gotten older. So, his skills have increased. Unfortunately for them, his cohorts are going to attack them. Thorfinn gets hit from behind and cannot do anything. He gets hit from behind. This is probably going to lead into another nightmare sequence. Thorfinn is out for the count after this. He got hit really hard by that shovel. And Einar is just going to get beat up while all this is happening. It's quite sad. Now, so the next episode after this is going to be... Don't worry about, like, ramifications. Doesn't matter. At least, I want to, the big event. It doesn't, these little... This scene in particular isn't going to, like, come back to, like, bite them. There's going to be consequences, but nothing too damaging to them. So that's okay. None of them are going to die from this. So they're all right. Now we go. Now while Thorfinn got like hit on the head, he's having like weird visions of this lady. If you remember this lady, I believe this is the lady from season 1 that we saw back when Thorfinn went to the village alone to scout, and then Askeladd's man came in and like killed everyone in the village. But that's really where we are right now. It's pretty much the end of the episode. Thorfinn gets knocked out, sees a visage of his father too, and just drowns deeper into the pits. Quite unfortunate, a turn of events that have happened. This is really, really good. We're getting into like the meat of our characters now, finally, after like 9 episodes. And it's only going to get darker and bigger from there. These events are going to change Thorfinn and Einar for the rest of the series. We're not at the storm is brewing, though. The big event is going to happen very soon. And it's going to be disastrous for lots of people, but I won't spoil too much. It's going to be great, though. It's going to be great. So as far as the animation goes, pretty standard with some nice, standalone scenes with Anar when he was getting mad. There's some good animation there, with just like the image. The music hits really hard in the scenes where Thorfinn is having his nightmares, and they really affect him a lot. It's pretty good. And on the technical aspect, the episode is very nice. Pretty standard, but nice. It was nice to watch. Standard. I'm, you know, after there's gonna be 24 episodes, so I imagine that I really hope they're saving that, high budget for. I've total faith though, that high budget for the last two episodes of this arc where we're finally gonna get the fighting. It's gonna be great. But that was this episode. It was pretty good, really good. I can't wait for the next one. I'm gonna go watch it right now after this. Apparently it's out already. So you guys have a nice day. See ya.